Anderson, off the O-line.
Now a shot from the right circle, kicked out by Vasilevsky. Gallagher. Puck comes back out for Weber, a drive, and giving up his body to make the play that time was Barclay Goodrow.
And then Gallagher with the chance. Beautiful save there from Andrei Vasilevsky. He's solid on that stick.
Down to 4 minutes on the clock. Armia towards the net. Joseph with the puck down for Tampa Bay. Puck fired in by Petrie. Off the stick of Goodrow. Back out it comes to Toffoli. He shoots. Vasilevsky the save. Puck play to the corner. Corey Perry. Final minute, third period here in Tampa. Lightning strikes twice. The Tampa Bay Lightning win their second straight Stanley Cup.
Man, what is going on? What is going on? It is your man, NBY the Nerd, back at you with another episode of the Pro Set, man. We took a week off for the 4th of July, but we are back with all the sports zaniness, man. I mean, it was a lot of stuff that went down. It was hard for me to put together a 30-minute show today, but I got it, boiled down to the hottest topics in the sports world this week. I'll keep it current, man, because I know you guys like the current events. So I'm going to keep it current with everything that's going on in the last week. But, man, I tell you, a lot of stuff has been going down. You see the title of the show, When It Rains, It Lightnings. I mean, wow. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightnings. Right out the gate, guys. We got to talk about it. The hockey team. I know a lot of you guys don't hear me talk about hockey a lot. It's just because I don't really watch it, consistently. But I do like to watch the Stanley Cups as I've mentioned in prior episodes. And when a winner is crowned, man, I got to give props. And this is actually, cool for me. I'm a Floridian, and we've been experiencing a lot of championships over the last couple of years, and another one comes back to Florida, man. Tampa Bay Lightning gets their second Stanley Cup in a row. This is incredible, man. The dominance that's been going on with the Tampa Bay Lightning has been outstanding. So congratulations to them for getting it in and taking care of business on that front. They pretty much dominated the series, winning in Game 5. They won 4-1 in the series, and they take another championship home, another Stanley Cup. I'm sure they're going to crack some beer or wine or champagne or whatever it is in that thing and drink, and they're going to have control of the city for the next week, man. So congratulations to them, and we'll see what Tom Brady can do, man. Maybe he's trying to keep up with the Lightning. Maybe he could bring the Tampa Bay Bucks a second championship in a row in Tampa. We'll see if they're up for that challenge. But we got a lot of stuff going on the show today, man. We're going to talk some track and field. We're going to talk some politics within the sports world. We're going to talk a lot of basketball, of course. The NBA Finals going on. The Bucks and the Suns, just like I predicted it would be. The series is not turning out how I thought it would go, but we're going to talk about that. And we're going to also talk about USA basketball, man. They're getting ready to ramp up for the Olympics, and that's going to be an interesting story. I mean, I talked a little bit about the team and what I thought they would do, and I don't know, maybe I'm so sort of like premonitionist, but I thought it was a very weak squad outside of Kevin Durant and a couple other players. But we'll see, man. Maybe they're able to pull this thing off. The international play is not lacking anymore, man. So you really got to bring your A game when you go to the Olympics nowadays. We're also going to talk about Conor McGregor's fight over the weekend, man. This is he fought Poirier, if I'm saying that right. Poirier, I hope I'm saying that correctly, for the third time. The fight did not end like we thought it would end, but maybe it ended someone's career. So we're gonna talk about that. So stick around. Make sure you ride out with us, whatever you're doing. If you're riding that elliptical bike, or what they call it, doing the tonal or the mirror wall thing, or you got your Peloton pedal steps going, or you walking, riding the car, chilling at home, listen to the podcast, man, just whatever you're doing, just stick with us. Gonna have a very interesting show today. We'll try to keep it funny, keep it lighthearted, man, but it's a lot of serious topics on this one. But we'll definitely try to keep it lighthearted today. So let me play this clip real quick. We're gonna go ahead and get started.
Boo holding, Zach LaVine on him, shot clock at 15.
Oh, he tried to get it into the post, couldn't do it. Good defense.
On the kick out, a Boo open three, and he got it! The 20. Rand avoided the turnover, his three, an answer. KD, his first three of the night. Yudo holding. Boo hit the corner three, buries another one! Point shooting for Nigeria. Scintillating. Durant answers with a three. And LaVine missed the first.
That means he's going to have to miss this free throw. And you see Bam Adebayo. Free throw.
You've got to miss this free throw and somehow get a three. There's the missed free throw. Achua missed them both. The final heave from midcourt and beyond, and Nigeria has upset the United States in an exhibition game, 90-87.
Yep, you heard that right, guys. The United States of America loses an exhibition game to Nigeria. I mean, no shade on Nigeria. They do have some NBA players on their national team, but come on, man. Who in the world expected the national team of the NBA to lose an exhibition game? You know what I'm saying? And these guys were not playing softly. They were actually playing to win this game, and they couldn't do it, man. They didn't pull it off. The Nigerians' defense was swarming. They played great offense. They kept it close. And in basketball, man, this is why I'm a proponent of the one-game tournament, because anybody can win, man. You really get real Cinderellas in that type of tournament. And so I know this was just kind of a tune-up for the USA, and they should learn from this and be ready for the Olympics. That was really embarrassing, especially since the last time they played, I think they won the game by 83 points. So I don't know if Nigeria has gotten that good where, you know, they shouldn't have been at least dominated and lost this game. So that's very embarrassing for me to see that the United States, I couldn't even believe it. When I saw the headline that the United States lost this game, I was like, what? Because I didn't watch it live, but I did go watch it, the highlights and a little bit of the replay just to see what happened, man. And it was just, Nigeria just wanted it more, man. They were running all over the place, passing the ball well. They did their thing, man. So I can't really put it on Nigeria. I got to put it on the U.S. because Nigeria did what they were supposed to do, which is come out and play basketball. And this should give them a bunch of confidence going into the Olympics, and hopefully we get a chance to see them play again and maybe play in the final gold medal round, where this would be a very interesting matchup with the U.S. Usually it's the Russians or the Ukrainians or some other European squad that really gives the NBA players a headache, but this is the first time I've ever seen Nigeria put this much pressure on the NBA, man. Boy, I tell you, all of the detractors were coming out for the head of Kevin Durant and Zach LaVine, and I think who else was playing that day? The gentleman from Boston, can't think of his name right now, but these are star players on their teams, but they couldn't get it done, man. Nigeria took the game, and boy, I tell you, it was the talk of the town over the weekend.
Last night, Team USA experienced a rare loss in an area beats Team USA by 3. Coach Greg Popovich and Jason Tatum did address the media after the exhibition game. We'll get to that in just a moment. Grant?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was an incredible performance. First of all, Nigeria was fantastic. Mike Brown, who's the associate head coach for Golden State, had them prepared. They've been practicing for the last 3 weeks. Very talented, as I said, 9 players who are in the NBA, so give them credit. Certainly not the performance that Team USA wanted. But this is why you have exhibition games.
Right.
And you want to iron out the kinks. You want to work on things, experiment, try things. You want to get in shape, find your rhythm in your legs. So Greg Popovich, who's the coach, always talks about you want to have appropriate fear for your opponent. And I think now there's an understanding that anyone can come out and beat Team USA, even with all that talent on the floors.
And that is my sentiment exactly, man. Grant Hill said it almost impeccably about what happened with the Team USA. So they got to get it together, man. I think Greg Popovich will make sure that they have it together once all the players get there. Some of the players are still playing in the NBA Finals that are going to be in the Olympics this year. So once we get all that firepower together, I think it'll be a breeze for the U.S. to win gold this year. But that does not mean that they will be unbeatable, man. We see that with Nigeria knocking them off right now with some of the best players of the league already on the team during the exhibition. So congratulations again to Nigeria. I know they are on fire over in Africa. They got one up on the U.S. right now, so you can't take that away from them. They did play the game, exhibition or not, and they knocked off the U.S.
Ball for 3. That's good. Important time for these Milwaukee Bucks.
Abdel Nader is in as Middleton gets the roll.
There was a 15-point lead at halftime. Increased to 22 after 3. They've been up by as many as 25. As Kaminsky floats it up. The extraordinary young player called the Greek Freak. He is so loved playing with him here in Milwaukee. They played together in Greece. They played on the national team. And now here with the Bucks. And it's been such
be in there asking for the same thing.
Well, they are starting to celebrate. And Giannis Antetokounmpo with another finals gem. And this series is now 2-1.
All right, let's get into a little bit of NBA basketball as we wind this down. We're about to crown a champion here probably by the end of this week or maybe next week, depending on how things work out. But I thought we were headed for a sweep. The Suns were playing excellent at home, but Giannis said no. He scored 40-plus points in their Game 2 loss, but then came back in Game 3 and scored 41, leading the Bucks to a blowout pretty much of the Suns over in Milwaukee. So I did not see that coming. I thought the Suns had their number, but it looked like they took their foot off the gas, or maybe it was just the Bucks were better than we expected. And they've been in this situation before, overcoming adversity to get to the finals. So maybe this is just their MO this season. Maybe this is their year. It feels like both of these teams have the whole dynasty thing, in their corner. It feels like this is something that was destined for both of them. So I don't know who's going to win out. Chris Paul, still put up some numbers, and Booker was still out there working, but it just felt like from the get-go, first quarter, the energy was there. They didn't pull out to a huge lead right away. The Suns actually led a little bit in the first quarter, but you could tell the energy over in Milwaukee and the Deer District, trying to say that 3 times fast, was on fire, man. I mean, all those people outside of the stadium rooting for the Bucks to win this game, and they get it done, man. And you got to give props to Antetokounmpo, if I'm saying that right. I'm going to get that right one day, man. But Giannis, for doing this thing, putting up the 41. All the role players came to work today. He got a lot of help, and they were able to take down the Suns, man. So I didn't get a chance to talk about how both teams got here, but you've been watching sports. You know what happened. The Suns, go ahead and take it to Los Angeles and get past them, and the Bucks, well, they did the same thing on their side. So it wasn't as tough as I thought it was going to be for the two teams, but they made it, and we have a finals now, man. I thought it was going to be a sweep, and I was a little disappointed, but I'm glad to see that Giannis was able to scrounge up that energy and get those 41 points in while showing everybody that he ain't weak. I mean, Charles Barkley talked about the over the past week. He talked about the Bucks after their Game 2 loss being the dumbest team he's ever seen in the finals, and I'm like, wow, Chuck, man, this guy has no kind of filter when it comes to talking about the NBA. But hey, when you do dumb things, you just come back, you learn from them, and you move on. And that's what the Bucks did, man.
I got to start with, let me answer the question first, and I got to talk about Giannis for a second. Suns still have the advantage. You're not wrong about what you're saying, Stephen A. If Saric isn't there, they don't have. Ayton can wind up in foul trouble if Giannis is aggressive, and that changes things for sure. It changed it last night. Suns still have the advantage because they're up 2-1. They have a better starting five, and they have home court still. They still have the advantage. But I got to say something about Giannis, because a lot like Chris Paul, and you set it up, you're talking about Devin Booker and Giannis. But I'm looking at this in terms of the storyline. Chris Paul, could you imagine if Chris Paul didn't win that Game 6? If they would have collapsed, lost the Game 7, every team he's on, they're up 3-1, and they collapse, and Chris Paul can't get it done, and instead he totally flipped that script. Could you imagine if Giannis didn't have that performance last night? They get to the finals, but Game 4, he hyperextended his knee. They did it without him, right? They look better without him. Kendrick Perkins on this show talking about Middleton is Batman and Giannis is Robin. Could you imagine if they go down 0-3, because you obviously lose at that point? So the stakes were so high for Giannis, and he just did something no one since Shaq has done, no one except Shaq has ever done since we've been counting. 40-10 in consecutive finals games. The dude is a beast. Giannis is a beast.
And I agree, man. The guy is out of this world. This is my first year really getting a chance to watch him from wire to wire in the NBA season and see him play deep into the NBA playoffs. And the guy is a machine. And it's funny because you go back and look at his rookie year, how small and skinny he was, and you see him now. This guy's put in the work, man. So I got to give it to him. But just like, everybody else out there, I think I'm on the bandwagon with the Suns on this one. I don't see them being able to win this, even if it goes 7 games, just because the Suns have the home court advantage. They would have needed to get 1 game in Phoenix to really sway me as to seeing them win this championship this year, man. I really think the Suns just have a lot more firepower, and, if Chris Paul wants to, he'll turn it on at certain times. He's an older guy. He's got to reserve his energy, and this really wasn't a must-win for the Suns. It was more of a must-win for the Bucks. So and you see this all the time in the NBA. The better team wins the first 2 games at home, and then it's like they just relax when they get to Game 3 because they know that, really they only need 1. If they could take a break on Game 3, take Game 4, go home and close it in 5, then they'll do that. So I really feel like that's what we're going to see with the Suns on this one. But, hey, I could be wrong. If Giannis comes out with another 40 in Game 4, watch out. But we'll see. We're going to keep following this, man, and keep checking in on this series and see who we crown as the new NBA champ. We know one thing. It won't be LeBron. and it won't be Steph Curry.
Yeah, they both missed. It looked like they came together.
He fell back on his own ankle and broke it. Let's take a look at it here.
Watch they come together here. Oh, he missed. They both missed.
He fell back on his own ankle.
Yeah, they both missed, right?
Look at that. He actually broke his leg.
The winner by TKO, Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
He fractured it on one of the checks at the beginning of the fight. Then it broke on a punch, yeah, for sure. When I pointed at him at the beginning of the fight, that's when I checked a good kick. I bet that's when it cracked. He was putting his fingers in my glove and pulling me down to throw the up kicks. I was trying to let Herb know that this guy's a dirtbag, man. You don't talk like that to people, man. I hope this guy gets home safe to his beautiful family, you know?
Dustin Poirier, ladies and gentlemen. He said that he believes that one of the kicks that he checked is what broke your leg.
There was no check. There was not one of them I checked.
The frustration boiling over for Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Wow. What a way to end the fight. I don't know if most of you knew, but there was a fight between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. We all know Conor McGregor, man, from the UFC. This is actually their third fight. I really didn't see it heavily advertised on my, social media or television. I watch a lot of streaming, so sometimes I miss out on commercials. But this fight, once I found out that it happened, I had to go back and watch it because I was surprised to see Conor McGregor back in the ring. I'm not sure if he needs money or something, but I thought he retired from the UFC, but this was one of those I guess get backs for him. They had fought 2 times before, McGregor taking one, Dustin taking one, and so this was supposed to be the match to determine who's the better fighter. And as I watched the fight, man, it looked like McGregor was struggling. He looked like he may lose this fight, but he was coming in this round when he had the unfortunate leg break, man. And when you look at it, it looks like it's his ankle when they show the close-up, but they confirmed that it was actually a leg break. So he must have fractured the leg somehow during the fight, and then it ended up breaking on his weight during this portion of the fight. And you get knocked out. If you can't get up, you're knocked out. So although it really didn't feel like a knockout, he ended up being confirmed as a knockout because he could not get off the floor after his leg broke. But the boy is tough. You heard him in the interview. He was arguing during the post-fight, and they were putting on the brace for his broken leg. This guy is, woo. I tell you, man, he's a man's man. I've never broken a bone in my body, so I don't know how it feels, but I know it had to be some kind of pain because I can even think about my wife broken her bone when she was a kid. She told me that it was excruciating for her. So I don't know. Maybe he's broken so many bones in his body that it don't even faze him anymore. But so that was what happened over there. I don't think that he should fight again. Probably. I think this should be it for him, man. He's older. You tried it, you gave it your best, you made some money, maybe time to sit down.
Steve, let me start with you. There were so many questions about both fighters coming into this thing because of what was at stake. Considering how this fight finished, what's your takeaway?
My takeaway is that Conor McGregor, the best of his career is over. It's over. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that. And the reason I feel that way is because, again, you sustained a leg injury. It wasn't a knockout. You didn't get punched in the head. You didn't get punched in the jaw. What happens is that he's been choked out before. Obviously, he had the calf kicks in the second fight, against Poirier. And tonight, he broke his leg. Okay? And to come back from that injury, Dominique was educating me about 6 months at least. I'm just looking at him from that perspective, and I'm saying to myself, it's going to be very, very difficult for him to come back from that. I believe that the best of Conor McGregor is gone.
I have to agree with Stephen A, man. I think that's it for Conor, man. I don't think we'll see him in the ring again. I think he's got enough money to where he can just go ahead and let this go. This fight was, kind of proof that he's probably lost it. You know what I'm saying? So, feel bad for Conor, man. It's kind of sad, really, to see how this fight ended. Joe Rogan is a hype beast, man. So it made the fight sound like it was really exciting, but it really wasn't, man. Conor was being dominated. This fight looked like it was gonna be done, and it ended up ending on a broken leg, or I think Conor probably would have got embarrassed and probably knocked out. So we'll see what happens with Conor, man. Wish him the best. Hope his leg heals quickly.
ESPN reporter Rachel Nichols losing her gig for the NBA Finals after calling out the network's history on diversity in a private conversation recorded more than a year ago. Our next guest is calling out hypocrisy in the woke culture war. Outkick founder Clay Travis is here to explain. Clay, help us out with this one. So there's a tape. It's a year old. She's claiming she may not get the gig on the NBA Finals because of the color of her skin, and another co-host, and then she doesn't get the gig. What do you make of this?
Well, she's actually lost 2 jobs now, and they are uncertain if her show is ever going to return to air, meaning Rachel Nichols. And this has all come out of a tape that was made over a year ago when she was inside the NBA bubble. Rachel Nichols did not know her home camera there in the hotel room was on and had a conversation about being replaced by Maria Taylor, a black woman, and said the reason why she was losing her job was because of ESPN's issues with diversity, implying quite clearly that Maria Taylor was getting her job because of the color of Maria Taylor's skin. Now, what's ironic about this is Rachel Nichols has always been super woke publicly. She praised the NBA over the disastrous decision to move the All-Star game out of Charlotte, North Carolina, over a transgender bathroom bill. She has lectured the rest of the American sporting public for a long time about diversity and inclusion issues. But then behind closed doors, suddenly she appears to be something that she has claimed not to be, and/or the hypocrisy finally reveals itself, which is, as you guys know, many of these super woke white people love the idea of diversity and inclusion as long as their own jobs aren't impacted by that diversity and inclusion push.
Well, man, we got to jump in here on a serious note here before we end the show. I kind of find it a little funny, but at the same time, this is a serious topic. Rachel Nichols has been trending for the past week because of the situation with her and this tape that got out about what she was saying about Marie Taylor, who is also a employee at ESPN. And it looks like Marie Taylor was set to take over for Rachel Nichols on the NBA show, and Rachel Nichols was not about to have that. She started to, basically cry out black privilege and ESPN diversity issues as to why she was losing her job. So she could not give Marie Taylor the credit that she deserved as she worked her way up to this position. She'd rather take the racial side and say because of her skin color, this is why she's getting the job. Now, is that true or not? Who knows? We don't know what the executives are thinking at ESPN. I tend to think, based on their decisions in the past, that, Rachel Nichols may be right here. But at the same time, this is something that is probably inappropriate for her to be, caught saying on a audio tape. And I don't know who got this audio tape, how it got leaked, but obviously this has pretty much ruined her career. She's been taken off the air for the NBA Finals, and it looks like the 2 shows that she had been working on for the NBA for ESPN will probably not return her to the lead chair in those things. So, I don't know, man. Rachel Nichols doesn't seem like a person that's, as far as racist or anything like that. I've even heard rumors that she really enjoys being with basketball players, if you get my drift. But those are just rumors. So I think this is just kind of a girl's talk that got caught on tape, and she's going to lose her job for it because of this woke culture, man. People can't voice their opinion. You know what I'm saying? People cannot say something that they really believe nowadays because it can cost them their job. And it's sad, but that's what happens. And so she's been a proponent of a lot of things that have gone on in the NBA dealing with racial issues. And, she's been out there actually, promoting against a lot of racial tension. And, she showed her love for LeBron and how he stands out as an NBA player who's against, racial discrimination. But this is something that is crazy. It's kind of like turned on her. And so people have just been lambasting her. So I feel bad for her. I don't know all the facts, so I have, no horse in the race, as they say. I'm just relaying the information. I think it's pretty sad that this is where we come to, where people lose their job over recorded conversations that we really have no context as to what she was saying. We're completely assuming all of this. But at the same time, nobody likes to lose their job. And, we all know that affirmative action actually exists. So, whatever, I don't think she should have said that Marie Taylor is only getting the job because of the color of her skin, unless maybe she has some inside knowledge that we don't. But, it is what it is. We'll find out as things go along what's going to happen with the Rachel Nichols situation. But I just wanted to bring that out for you guys that are listeners to the show. Go ahead, man. Go on YouTube, man. The videos that people are making are hilarious. They're bringing up stuff from years ago that this girl has done over the air. So, it's sad. I've watched some of the videos and some of the things she's done in her interviews over the years. It kind of seemed like it may be a karma situation when this thing hits. But hey, doesn't bother me either way. I didn't really pay attention to her regardless. So this is a big story for the world, but not necessarily for me. Commentators are not big for me. I just want to watch the game. I just want to watch the game. I literally hate the ESPN having that whole coaching interview during the game. I hate that. I hate it with a passion. So, but hey, that's what they do. They're trying to make it interactive. So, but anyways, man, that's what's going on with Rachel Nichols and that situation.
And this is what's blown up on Rachel Nichols. It's a huge mess for ESPN. And honestly, we're not sure if she's going to be able to continue working at the network.
Well, that's going to do it, guys, man. That's going to be the end of our show today. Thanks for sticking with us. We went a little over our usual 30 minutes, but hey, had a lot to get in today. I didn't even get a chance really to get into everything I wanted to talk about today, especially the track and field situation with Sha'Carri Richardson. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but anyways, I'll leave a little clip after the outro if you want to stick around and check out what the analysts had to say. But everybody knows what's going on with that, the whole weed situation, whether or not she should be in the Olympics or not, blah, 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 blah. They've turned it into a racial thing on Black Twitter, man. Now they got Simone Biles and her going head to head as pretty much a house versus a field type situation, man. And, I hate to see it get ugly like that because I don't know what Simone Biles has to do with this. But, there's rules. And yeah, some rules are stupid, but if you know it's the rules and you want to do something, until they change it, you gotta abide by the rules. So that's just my 2 cents on that real quick, man. But thank you guys for listening. I'll definitely be back next Monday with another episode of The ProSet. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. We're about to expand with our podcast distribution, so get ready to look for us on iTunes and everywhere you can get a podcast. Coming here soon, man. We're gonna try to put this episode everywhere. We also got some merchandise coming here soon via Amazon. You'll be able to get that primed right to your door so that you can rock the ProSet. Out there showing some support, promoting the show, man. We want to grow this thing. I thank you guys for riding with me through episode 10. This is your boy NBY the Nerd, and I'm out.
reaction when the roster came out yesterday for the Olympics and Sha'Carri Richardson was not on the list because she tested positive for marijuana?
I think it's a ridiculous decision, and I've been on this train for a long time. If you want to test for performance-enhancing drugs, I think that makes a total amount of sense. It should happen. But non-performance-enhancing drugs, particularly drugs like pot, shouldn't be tested for at all, particularly when you are allowing transgender athletes to compete. In New Zealand, we have got a biological male weightlifter who has been taking all sorts of drugs to change the gender. He has now become a woman and is competing as a female weightlifter. If you were going to make a choice, I think everybody out there listening, would you rather have a woman sprinter who smoked pot competing, or would you rather have a biological man competing as a woman in weightlifting? The Olympics is getting this way wrong in allowing all of the drugs that change your gender and not allowing non-performance enhancing casual drugs that may be legal in many states to be consumed. I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. If she had a couple of beers, it wouldn't have been a problem. And regardless of how you feel, half the country allows it. And the thing is, right now, I'm surprised U.S. track and field hasn't stepped in and gone to bat for her.
Yeah, look, I mean, I understand there are people out there who say the rules are the rules. Ever since I got my law degree, I've been sitting around saying, well, that's the worst argument of all time. Sometimes rules are stupid. This is a stupid rule. If you're, again, to me, if you're going to allow biological men to compete against women in weightlifting, of all things, then how in the world can you not allow a real woman who is smoking pot to be able to compete here? It doesn't make sense. The Olympics has got everything backwards here.